Hi everyone, I just want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. This is my first YouTube video. Well, I want to talk to you about some things God has been telling me during this pandemic, and I think it'll be helpful to you as well. He took me to Proverbs 13:4, and my videos are always going to be about self-development and how we can just be better as a person. God took me to the Proverbs 13:4 that says, "The appetite of the sluggard craves and gets nothing, but the appetite of the diligent is abundantly supplied." So when you think about when you have an appetite for something and you desire something, desire is a strong feeling for something to happen. Don't you want some things to happen in your life? When 2020 came in, we were all excited about the word of the Lord, and we were in expectation, and we're still in expectation. But being that we're in this pandemic, it just caused us to take a pause. And so now we have to get in the frame of mind because we're coming out of this pandemic. But God wants us to not be lazy. If you're a sluggard, if you're slothful, if you're lazy, if you're inactive, you need movement. If you crave things and desire things, it's not God that's saying He doesn't want you to have them. And that's a trick of the enemy in Christendom, that literally we tend to say, if it's a hard time or if it didn't come to pass, oh, I guess God didn't want us to have it. There's some things that we're going to have to war for, we're going to have to fight for, and we're going to have to maintain our stance, because we have to be settled that God wants you to prosper. He wants to bless you. He wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So you have to be settled in your heart and your spirit that God wants you to prosper. Another thing you need to know is that God has no favorites. He doesn't like you more than He likes me. He does not have favorites. Another thing is that there's no guarantees in life, but when it comes to our faith and our belief, there is a guarantee that you can have the desires that you want if you're diligent. If you can, diligent is having or showing care and conscientiousness in one's work or duties. If you are partnering with God by faith and just believing, and you're willing to do something in the natural, say you want a job, you fill out the application, you go on the interviews. There's no bypassing that. We want God to just sovereignly, here's your job. Here's your new car. That's not, we have to go to the dealership. That's the part and the role of faith. You have to participate in the whole process. But just know that God wants you to have it. Purpose is something that God wants you to have. We have to know that in order to get up and to crave things and to desire things, we have to know that there's a purpose in it. When you have perfect purpose, it gives you drive, it gives you motivation. So that's one thing that we need to have. We should not be just existing. Some people in this pandemic really like being isolated. They want to be cut off from other people. And God began to show me that the reason why they want to be cut off from others is because they're hiding behind the pain, the hurts, the disappointments, that when they're busy in the busyness, they don't have to face those things. But when you come out of the busyness, when God has put the whole world on a pause, you are left to deal with those inner issues and those situations that we need to take care of. God is your friend. God is on your side. He is not preventing you from your dreams and goals, but are you slothful? Are you sleeping in the time of harvest when you should be getting those things that you're supposed to get? So a lot of it is on us, and we want to blame God. God began to say, stop putting it, begin to impress upon me, stop putting it on God. The responsibility all on God is not all on God. It's you partnered with God to achieve those goals, those dreams. So stop blaming God. Stop getting an attitude, getting frustrated. You can crave all you want, but if you do nothing, you're going to come up empty. As simple as that. But someone said it's insanity that you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And when we see other people prosper and they're doing what they need to do behind the scenes, take for instance a Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was somebody who was disciplined, and we have to be disciplined. And he did what he had to do behind the scenes, and it proved in the fruitfulness. You will know them by their fruits. He was working behind the scenes, and it was proven on the basketball court. He always excelled. And so if you're going unfulfilled, there's a tendency to be jealous. And God doesn't want any of us to be jealous, because the playing field is so wide. What God will do for you, he has no respect of person. What he does for one, he'll do for another. So we have to be rooted and grounded in that. God began to give me some things on why some people go without. The spirit of fear, the spirit of inferiority. We don't go after the things we want because we're fearful. Avoiding life, hiding behind this pandemic, like I was saying before. These are all things that we have to know, that God wants you to be blessed. He wants you to be favored. So don't give up on your dreams. Know that if you admire someone, that's a wonderful thing, but don't ever be jealous of them. Sometimes we have to know that we're already accepted in God, and we're looking for someone to validate us. Stop looking for validation, knowing that God approves of you. He loves you, and you are God, the apple of God's eye, and I'm rooting for you. Let's do this together. I'm not saying I have it all together, but let's work on this together, and let's go get it. Let's go after our dreams and do what God has called us to do, and so that we will not crave, but our desires will be fulfilled, and as we're diligent, as we're seeking God's will for our lives. So come on, everybody. Just go after what God is telling you to do. Don't be lazy. Don't be slothful. Get to it. And you're going to have a guarantee of a success. You're going to have a guarantee of fulfillment. God bless you.